It's the truth about Black History Month. So when we label ourselves Negro, colored, black, or African American, we under the 14th Amendment, meaning that we under their jurisdiction. And we label as heterochthonous, meaning that we not indigenous. We are under the naturalization, meaning that we are not under the nationalization. We are American citizens instead of American national, meaning that you don't get rights, you get privileges. Before the 15th century, it was a known fact that every black person in general was called a Moor. Now, what is a Moor? A Moor is anyone of African descent, basically any black person. In Spanish, the word for blackberry is Mora, a noun which originally meant a Moorish woman. Also in Spanish, the adjective for dark-complexioned, which now means brunette, is morano. In French, moricaud means dark-skinned or blackamoor. It's important to note that in the Romance languages such as Spanish, French, and Italian, Moor was translated as Moro, Moor, and Moor as M-O-R. A Moor and an African American are the exact same people, just two completely different national statuses. When you identify yourself as a Moor, you are a national. When you identify yourself as a Negro, colored, or black, or African American, you are an American citizen. And like I said, you will be under the 14th Amendment, under their jurisdiction. When you identify yourself as a Moor, which is what we are, which is we are born as, we are nationals, meaning that we are natural born citizens of the land. And we are labeled as autochthonous, meaning that we are indigenous. Now, how did a Moor quickly become known as an African American? Well, in 1452, Pope Nicholas V issued the papal bull known as the Dum Diverses on June 18, 1452. It authorized Alfonso V of Portugal to reduce any Saracens, which were Moors or /Muslims, what they called us back in the day, and any other unbelievers to perpetual slavery. In 1455, he followed up with the Dum Diverses with the Romanus Pontifex, another papal bull, and he issued that, authorizing the Portuguese king to capture, banish, and subdue all enemies of Christ. To finish this all off, on May 4th, 1493, Pope Alexander VI is responding to Christopher Columbus's exploration of North and South America, which was sponsored by the King and Queen of Spain. The Pope decrees that land discovered by envoys of the Spanish kingdom and not already claimed by Christians now belong to it. Antikythera was another papal bull which was issued by Pope Alexander VI in 1493. It gave Spain and Portugal the right to claim and colonize lands discovered during their explorations. Dum Diverses, Romanus Pontifex, and the Antikythera papal bulls solidified the doctrine of discovery. The presiding theory of the time was indigenous peoples because they were non-Christians and therefore the land was empty, or what they refer to as terra nullius. So I'm sure you starting to see that the whole scheme was to keep the black man asleep and to prevent a black man from rising. And this was an actual fact. If you heard about the COINTELPRO, or Counterintelligence Program, which was started by J. Edgar Hoover. And this was a series of illegal projects actively conducted by the FBI aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting domestic American political organizations. FBI records show COINTELPRO resources targeted groups and individuals the FBI deemed subversive, including activists of the civil rights and black power movements such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the Nation of Islam, and the Black Panther Party. The main purpose of COINTELPRO was to prevent the rise of a black messiah, and Martin Luther King Jr. had been amongst the candidates until his assassination in 1968, when the attention shifted to Huey P. Newton of the 295 documented actions taken by COINTELPRO to disrupt black groups. 233 were directed against the Black Panther Party. The COINTELPRO operation was said to have ended in 1971, but we know this is in fact not true, and it is still going on to this very day.